afternoon. Good to see everyone. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Excited about the victory. Excited about the opportunity to continue to move forward. Got banged up a little bit here or there. A couple bodies, but hopefully they won't be out long. Hopefully we'll get a couple back this week that we just kind of kept out for precautionary reasons and start over and get ready to go 1-0 this week. And I think Murray State, good football team. Impressed with. I hadn't watched. We hadn't had any crossover film up until this point, so intrigued by them. They got some good athletes. The quarterback's a good player. I think they played. What they do on defense, they do well. They moved the ball early in games. They went right down the field, kicked a field goal against Southern Illinois, created a turnover, scored right off the bat against Missouri State. So, be a good challenge for us, and we're excited about it being the next one and getting an opportunity to play at home again.
Banged up on Saturday. May you be open?
Joe Stoffel got banged up a little bit. He'd be the one that would be questionable at this time right now. Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, got tripped up and landed on it on the touchdown. One of those things that unfortunately don't see many injuries happen when you're scoring touchdowns.
Be okay?
I think he'll be back. That's a chronic deal that he deals with throughout the season, and we'll ultimately at some point have to get it fixed in the second semester.
I was thinking Coles in this case. Those are the guys you're
day by day. I think I know Wiz did some stuff. Return to play protocol late last week, and then it's my anticipation that continues this week. And then Julian, we're still kind of waiting for more information.
Ball, you anticipate doing that more?
If that's what it takes, we'll if we need to get our offense out there right away to ensure our ability to start fast. But on Saturday, I don't know if we started super fast. Penalty right there on play number 1, and then we had a drop on play 2, and then huge third down conversion to get us kind of going. But if we need to, it might just be a different change of pace.
Rules, does that affect the analytics? With the college, with the timing.
The timing.
Yeah. Does that?
Well, I think it's so new. I don't know if there's a ton of numbers out there that you could probably just hang your hat on, but I think when you're talking about two teams that huddle, there probably is one less probably possession per half. Especially when you have some longer series than normal.
Right now, it doesn't play in your decision to take the ball away.
Not at this time. Right now, it's more about just the makeup and the makeup of our football team.
This one was cleaning up a lot of stuff defensively. Kind of your thoughts on whether or not you guys did that last Saturday, and kind of a boost that a win like that can be going forward.
I thought it was a step in the right direction, and I thought our kids, we made progress. Again, we're going to continue to get challenged with some of the things that we've. People watch film. They're going to try to emulate plays that we struggled with from game 1 all the way up through game 6 or game 7 at this time. So we got to continue to address those issue plays, continue to rep them, even though we may, team A, B, and C haven't run those. But I think it was a move in the right direction. I thought our kids played fast. I thought we tried to minimize the number of adjustments and checks to formations, so we could get just a faster product out there.
As Randy and Tyler have been here, and maybe the way things have gone a couple different times on defense, have you had the temptation, or maybe even just gone ahead and been a little bit more hands-on with the defense this year than maybe in years past?
Probably more so of late, to be honest. I think when Coach, I think in 2019 I had a lot of hands-on just because we had even more volume. We had greater numbers of new people my first year as head coach. Not that I didn't trust anyone, just wanted to make sure that we were using the same terminology and not straying too far from who we were.
Was better on Saturday. By looking at film, did you sense that? And then it looks like Dylan Hendricks individually had a pretty good afternoon as far as.
Well, I think Dylan's played really well the last few weeks. Maybe he doesn't have the numbers for it, but he's playing probably his best football, here. And I've said it before, Dylan's battled a bunch of injuries early in his career, and he's, continued to stay healthy this year and has really become a leader for us up front.
Had 3 games in a row with a passing touchdown. What have you made of his confidence?
I thought, the one he had this week, to Joe, it was a great throw. I mean, I think he could have taken a couple different options on the throw, but I think you're seeing a guy who's comfort level. I think a year ago it was, utilize Cole for, run game, some probably misdirection / trick stuff. And now we're running just our offense with Cole in there, and he's executing at a high level, and he's doing a really good job for us.
Coming into the Dome for the first time, does that add any excitement to it?
I think anytime you play someone that you've never played before, I go back to, the energy level and the excitement of our team. This is one of the unique years, our non-conference, we played 2 of the 3 we had never played before, or at least in my time here, last 10 years we hadn't played those teams. So I think that always drums up some excitement or some question marks out there too.
Seems like extra good this year. What are your thoughts on the conference as a whole right now?
I think there's a ton of really good football coaches. I think there's some really good players. Every team has good players. I think that's probably a byproduct of really good recruiting, really good development amongst all the coaches out there. And I think the brand of football that's played, very solid, very fundamental based, across the board. Tells you that a lot of people are dedicated to the fundamentals and just the basis of football. And, there's not a lot of gimmicks out there. People are trying to knock you off the ball, trying to win the line of scrimmage and play really good defense in this league. But at the same time, you got some explosive playmakers too that you have to contend with weekly.
Since you came into the league, 10 years ago, was the league a different league a decade ago?
I think it probably moves in cycles a little bit. I think, when I first got into the league back in 2009, 2010, I think, it's always been a quarterback-driven league. I think the teams that have well-established quarterbacks, the teams that play good defense, tend to elevate in this league. And I think you look at, the top teams in the league right now, and I think you could go back the last 10 years, the top teams have had, really good playmakers at the quarterback position. And then, to be successful, I think you have to have a solid level of defense in the league.
It's got 2 quarterbacks now. Are you and Chris trading notes?
We haven't really dove into that too much. I did see a little bit of that game on Saturday evening. I know that through some early conversations in summer and fall camp time, he talked about how talented their young quarterback was, and that it was going to be hard to not find a way to utilize him.
Handle kickoffs on Saturday. Is that something you foresee moving forward, or is that undecided?
Potentially. I mean, he's a true freshman. It was exciting. I think his average was 3.9 hang time, which considerably different than maybe what some of our other hang times had been. But he does a great job of getting some air underneath it. I mean, it affects our coverage team. And it was fun to hear our coverage team respond. This is different than a 3.5 second. When it's all of a sudden 4 seconds. With the 4-game rule, it'll be interesting to see, kind of how we move forward. But, I think we still want to find a way to be able to redshirt him and utilize him in his 4 years.
Young guys make their debuts and made it a point to get some different guys in the game. Any of them kind of stick out to you now after having a chance to go back and watch?
Kelly Watson, I thought I ran hard. Kelly's, has been with the scout team most of the time, but due to injury and just due to his success that he's had down on the scout team, I mean, just willingness to play anywhere, has done a really nice job. And it was kind of one of those, hey, let's dangle the carrot out there. Kelly, you continue to do a good job. We traditionally don't dress true freshmen. I kind of like it when they have to sit over in the crowd a little bit and they earn their opportunities to dress. But it was great to get him out there. I think we played 85 of the 90 kids we had dressed on Saturday. Primarily a lot of our redshirt freshmen got time. Anywhere between 5 to 10, 12 snaps. Najee Nelson made a big time tackle on the one inside zone, that split zone that kind of split our 2s and 3s out there, but showed a burst and was able to track the back down, and that was exciting.
Potentially move over that 4-spot running back with Owen Johnson being out, or is that a little bit?
Well, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves by a little bit, but I hope down the road he sure can. I mean, it's part of the reason why he's here.
Well, anybody that played against Western would have to sit out one more game, right, and then basically
You're
be good.
provided 4 regular season games, and then none of the postseason games count towards your red shirt.
Things now, with that, with the postseason, even injured guys that if you were planning on maybe using redshirt, that year still counts.
Right.
How much does that open things up now?
I think you just keep developing people as long as you can. You know, if you have if you have even a hint of opportunity to make it to the postseason, knowing that you can, you know, be creative maybe with your, you know, if you do have some late season injuries, you don't have to worry about it.
You have 4 games left. Does that open things up for you to say?
Potentially, yeah.
Do that?
Yeah, I mean, we still need to get the best people on the field. But, you know, the other thing that when you're away, you're still only limited to 70 players too. So it needs to be the right 70 and the right combination.
Oh, what have you seen from Finn that's really impressed you so far in
Well,
2023?
I think if Joe can't go, I think we'll probably do it by committee a little bit. Those reps will get split up. You know, we need to lean on Hunter Brosio. You know, Hunter being a veteran for us, he's played off the ball, on the ball, really become kind of a Swiss Army knife as far as, you know, that fullback, H-back type player for us. The young man who had probably his best game as a Bison was Carson Williams this last week. Did a really good job, point of attack, and so that excites me. It's time for him. You know, we redshirted him last year because he played right away as a freshman, you know, at Buffalo, and just an opportunity for him to really dive into what we're doing offensively and get to know it better. But and then Finn's done some nice things. You know, Finn needs to continue to be probably a little better at the point of attack. His intent's there. Just continue to get stronger, continue to trust his fundamentals and technique that he works on. But Finn's been good in the pass game. You know, found ways to get the ball to him, and he gets positive yardage out of it.
Murray State's quarterback is being a pretty good player. What do you see? DJ Williams, what do you see in him, number 2?
Big arm, can make all the throws. Is athletic and can buy time with his feet. Keeps his eyes downfield, so we're gonna have to do a really good job, you know, in kind of what we call scramble drill. All of a sudden, he does get out of the pocket. He evades, you know, the pressure, or evades, you know, the rush, and he'll continue to find people that are either a check down or find someone that you know, converting a short pass into a deeper threat. So and they do a little bit of quarterback run game with him as well, and so they're going to make you, you know, defend some schemes.
Run into him on the recruiting trail at all, Illinois at all, or any way, shape, or
Not that I
form?
can remember off top. I'm sure we have. I anticipate we probably have, like you said, in Illinois, in St. Louis a little bit. You know, but it looks like some of their recruiting areas is probably a little bit farther to the south than where we go.
Wisniewski can't go, I mean, Ryan Jones got the start, but you mentioned Darius Gibbons.
Yep.
Is he a guy who's?
Darius played a ton of snaps for us. I think that was the best thing, to put him in this game this week and let him operate. I mean, there's nothing better than live reps to develop someone. We can talk about practice, but you know, until you get under the lights and the calls are coming in and there's in-game communication, that's when you really find out, you know, if he can handle the moment.
6'6", 250, how do you defend a guy like that?
Well, got to do a really good. He's a good player. He's one of their top targets. They use him. They'll flex him out into kind of a flex position. They'll use him on some wheels, try to get him down the seam a little bit. So we just got to do a good job. One, impacting the quarterback and trying to, you know, step on his toes a little bit with our rush. But, you know, we've played big, long kids before, and we just got to make sure that when he catches it, it's catch tackle type of situation.
Like a UND 3-4, or how would
No,
you?
probably a little more stem to field under, and then they show quite a bit of pressure. But it's not the moving parts that, you know, that UND has.
Highly of Kelvin McCaslin before, pretty disruptive in the snaps that he got on Saturday. Kid with kind of that, I don't know if Spencer Wagey frame, but that,
He's a long kid.
you know what I mean? He's got to be exciting for you.
Definitely. Continues to put weight on, continues to develop. I think all the reps he's had this year, you can see there's a steady trend and definite improvement. I know there's probably one play on Saturday he wishes he had back. He got a little bit, out in front of his skis a little bit, playing defensive end. But, those are what those moments are for, and what a great learning opportunity he had. But I am excited about it. He's twitchy, and he has that length that you want to have.
Some younger guys getting some looks this past Saturday. Have any of them moved up the depth chart where they're in their top two, or are the veteran guys or the guys?
No. I think Najee, Jalen Duffy are both pushing some people at the corner spot right now, being competitive. Jalen Duffy's put on 15 pounds since he's been here in June, and starting to physically show that he can handle the game. I think when he first got here, he was probably a little light, but he's done a really good job of buying in to Coach Kramer and his staff. Jalen Crumby continues to get reps down with the ones and twos at just some different safety / nickel, trying to streamline things where if he were to get in the game, we could call it where he feels comfortable. Because again, you're only as good as what your players can regurgitate on the field.
Your Sam backers off the field a little bit more and put, do a little bit more 5 defensive back stuff.
If we could, yeah. And, going into this game, we had a pretty good extensive nickel package that we were prepared for. The game kind of lent itself where we didn't have to dive into it a whole bunch. But, I think as we continue to see other corners elevate, it allows for maybe a 3-corner type situation.
That decision with some of these young guys, getting them on the field for a game, because you want them to advance and be good enough to be on the field,
Yep.
and you're trying to win the game, and you can't just throw guys out there and say, sink or swim. I assume you can't do that.
No, we can't do that. I think part of it is, like just using Saturday as an example, making the decision early enough that we're going to get them in, but then let's also get them in on special teams as well. If we're going to utilize a game, then let's make the game matter. Not for a snap, not for the final snap, not for a couple snaps, but let's give them some volume so that way we do have something to go back and look at to see, hey, how is he doing? How did he handle the moment? How did he handle the calls? What were the issues? And how can we continue to help him moving forward? I think the other thing that probably lends it, we still have continued to do a young guy NDSU versus NDSU every Tuesday, 8 to 10 plays. It's a pretty spirited moment, 5 minutes of practice. And I think there's a lot of value in that one too, because it's not necessarily tackle to the ground, but it's a physical 5 minutes, because those young guys are hunting and trying to figure out where they fit on the depth chart and set themselves up for the offseason.
You still say, he's an inside receiver. What have you seen of him where you like him out of the backfield? And why is this fall you feel like putting him in the backfield something?
Well, I think some of it goes back just to when we recruited him. He played exclusively quarterback at Lakeville North. He was a quarterback / wildcat quarterback, however you want to term it, but running a lot of quarterback run game with him. So his comfort level in the backfield was already there. It's something that he'd done. He's a 5th year. He has great understanding of what we're doing from a Z receiver. He's good from an inside F receiver. He understands it. And so that's one of the benefits of having a veteran is you can put a little more on his plate and get him involved and what a great run on Saturday. The guy who probably helped it pop was Tyler Terhark. Had a huge block on that play.
An opportunity this deep in the season to play 85 out of the 90 guys you had dressed. How valuable is that, not just for their development, but for you guys as a team?
I think one, avoiding injuries and trying to find ways to get your ones and twos out, but also, we pride ourselves on being a developmental program, so the more reps we can get guys, I think you're going to get one of 2 responses. I'm not either good enough, I need to continue to get better, or some of them maybe it's just a confidence piece that hey, I played 12 snaps and I can play here, I can do this, and all of a sudden now, you see the confidence grow, the energy grow, practice habits improve, focus in meetings continues to elevate because now they're starting to build that role, and the greater your role, the greater your performance probably.